Okay, this is meant to be a short video, but I have no idea how long I'll talk for. This could go on for a while, but basically I'm just going to talk about my experience at the BTS concert on the 10th of October, because it was extreme. Like, it wasn't just the concert, it was like everything that like happened that day, from like queuing and everything. So I'll just get into it and hopefully this doesn't go into like a 40-minute video. So I thought I was gonna be prepared for this concert because I was like, as soon as they announced like the dates, I was like planning everything out. I was planning how to get to London because like I'm from Birmingham, and like I was so I was so like ready, and then like the actual week of the concert, it just like all that planning went out the window, to be honest. Like I was ready. I looked at all trains and stuff before I'd even got the tickets. But yeah, like when it was Tuesday night, I went down on the Tuesday night and I got the train on my own at like 7 o'clock, and like my parents thought I was going with people, but I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, yeah. But I managed to get to London, and then I managed to get the tube from Marylebone to North Greenwich, and that was fine. And like, I got out of the station, I just like went, you know, if you went to the show or if you went to the O2, you know, there's that like poster board on the wall where like literally everyone took photos with, and there was like a queue on the Wednesday to take a photo with the board, and it was like really weird. But like I went there, I took a photo of that. I went to like the entrance to the O2, I just like looked around a bit, and I went to try and find my friend, but she couldn't come to the station until like 2 AM. And I was there at like 9, so I was like, shit, what do I do? And there was already a wristband system going on for like general admission. Like, it was like people were standing in the bus, like they were sitting down in the bus station. There were people like lying out on the floor, like full on duvets and everything. And like, I joined that. Like, my friend had joined it before, and then she just told me to get a wristband as well, so I did. I was number 111. It was like it was pretty well done, to be fair, because you like write your name down and like number and stuff, and they'll sort out the order from there, but you literally, like, you just sit around waiting. Like, you weren't allowed to leave, which I guess is like fair enough, but it's just like staying in the bus station at night, it was a bit like, It wasn't the worst place. Like, the security was fine, and to be honest, we didn't really like need to stay there, but we just did. And I waited there till like, I think my friend arrived at like 2 AM, so I was waiting there. I was reading my book. I have a book and I haven't read it in ages, so I was like, I'm gonna bring that with me. Call Me By Your Name, great book. So I was just reading that in the queue, sat on like my blanket and fuck my voice. And then like everyone came out from the show the night before, and there were people waiting for taxis, and they were just like staring at us. I was like, yeah, we're kind of here now. And so like a load of people started coming from the concert the night before to join the queue, but they were like, we don't want to get, I think it was that they didn't want to get another wristband if they'd already queued for like the show the night before, but like everyone already had wristbands, so like a load of people were just like kind of making like a fuss basically, and it wasn't great. But like I talked to people and I made friends and I stayed with them for like the whole queuing time, and then I completely lost them like at the actual show, which was great. But there was another queue going on, and it was in front of the actual O2, not in the station, and security told that queue to move on, so they had to come to us, and then they thought that because they'd queued at the O2 that they should go in front of us, but there was already like a whole system going, and like it was on Twitter that this was what they were doing. Like, it was what happened for the night before. So I don't know why they thought they could just, like, push in. But they had to go to the back. And they were not happy about that. At like 1 a.m, everyone kind of settled down. Everyone, like, the organisers of the queue, they got everyone in their, like, numbers. So we were all in, like, a long kind of line. And we were just, like, allowed to stay there and, like, set up, like, sleeping arrangements. So basically just a blanket. But at like 1 a.m, I think some people tried sleeping. Like, I tried and I just didn't. But it was like kind of like daydreamy. I don't know what. It was like just dozing. And then at like 1 a.m, the people who went to the O2 to queue and then got sent here, they started playing Fake Love really loud at 1 a.m. And they started doing the fan chants. And then everyone kind of just went over, told them to, like, shut up. And that was basically that. It was just, like, it was fine after that. It got to, like, 3 a.m, everyone was kind of, like, just, like, lying down. And then a load of people came along who didn't have wristbands for the unofficial queue. And they ran to the barrier and was, like, making a queue. If you know where, like, where the taxi area was, there's, like, that long barrier that carries on down, like, the poster wall. Like, people were stood there, and then everyone started running, so I literally just, like, had to grab all my stuff quickly, like, shovel, like, my blankets, like, away, and just, like, run for that. And there was no order. We were people, like, the organisers of the unofficial queue were trying to get that back in order, but it just, like, no one was listening, no one cared. And then on the other side of, like, the O2 bit, there was, like, the other side of the road where, like, buses go down, there were people queuing there as well, but we didn't know if they were queuing or if they were just, like, watching, because, like, okay, but, yeah. It's like everyone was kind of crowded around that one area, and, like, no one was really listening to instructions. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, I feel like there was a language barrier that might have been that, because, like, Europe was, like, we didn't get that many shows in many countries, so there were, like, Spanish people here and, like, from other countries, and they might not have understood what, like, we were doing with the wristbands and everything. So half the people at the front of the queue at that barrier, they didn't have wristbands. And, like, people just kept showing up and then trying to join the front of the queue. So everyone was kind of just crowded around the front. And we were like, yeah, we've waited here since, like, 9 p.m. We're just gonna go to the front of the barrier and hope that, like, everything sorts it out. It didn't. It was a solid, like, half an hour of people just shouting at each other, trying to get people to move. And then security came. They basically told us to step back so we can form a line. They didn't do anything. They literally just told us to step back, and then they, like, walked off. So that, like, worked, obviously. So everyone was kind of, like, not knowing what to do. It was a mess. It really was a mess. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't cold. It was just, like, we just didn't know what to do at that point. And, like, the organisers were trying to get people back in order, but it just, like, didn't work. And then, I don't know, it was like 4 a.m. and I think someone jumped the barrier or something, but everyone just started running. And then we were like, what do we do? So my friend grabbed my hand and we all literally just ran to the front of the O2. And it's like it was a stampede. There was, like, stuff all over the floor. I lost my earrings. I had, like, the, like, Tay's, like, cross earrings, that, like, the dangle ones. I had them and they were in my bag and my bag was open, so I lost them. So I'm mad about that. But, like, yeah, everyone ran to the front of the O2 and then the security guards were like, go back. And it's, like, literally people were trying to get into the barricade area that was, like, the queuing area for, like, I don't know, it was the official queuing area, but they just told us to get back. And at that point, everyone started forming a line down that wall. And we tried getting back, but like, we were like, oh, we need to wait for these people, and that was a mistake, because literally we got to the queue and there were a load of people without wristbands who probably just turned up saying like, go to the back, and all this. And it's like, fine. And the security, like, so we got in the line, but security was just kept making us go back, trying to get us into like, eventually they got us into rows of 3, but it was a mess. And like, I don't know, security were just mad at us. I thought like there was a chance that they could have like kicked us out just by the fact, it was like, this guy came out with a megaphone and he was like, right, you've broken the rules and all this, and I'm like, okay. But it was fine, they just told us to go back, but that meant that like we lost our place in the queue, which is like, we just camped in fucking a station for like how long? But like, there were people there like, who were there like from like, I don't know, people started queuing on Saturday, I think, for the 10th, which is like crazy, but they were like with people who turned up at like 2 a.m. It was a mess, like, honestly. And then once we'd got into like rows of 3, security started letting us go in groups to the barrier area, like right next to the O2 entrance, and that was fine. We all kind of just like sat down after that because we couldn't go in till 10, or was it 9? I don't really know. Whatever time they went in, we couldn't get in till then, so we just waited in the barrier area, and people were like sharing blankets and food, and there were people throwing lollipops at one point. That was exciting. But we just waited there. To be honest, that was at like 5 a.m. and it went pretty quickly after that. Like the sun like rose pretty quickly. That was quite cute to see. But it was just like, it was a weird experience, just because I'd never been to this like arena before. And then suddenly I'm queuing at like, I was outside from like 3 a.m. like just standing outside. Like I was in the bus station from 9, and then it was like, it was stressful, man. And yeah, so we waited in the queue till the doors opened, but me and my friend decided to leave the queue at 7:30 to join the merch queue, because we were like, we have friends in here, they were with us while we were like camping, and then they'll save our space in the queue. So we went to join the merch queue. I just realised I've probably got a double chin, this isn't a great angle, but we joined the merch queue, and it was like, it was pretty quiet. There weren't that many people in there, but we were probably like maybe like 40 people back in the merch queue, I don't know, but we queued for merch. And then at that point I was like feeling ill. I didn't know if it was like lack of sleep or like dehydration or something, but I was fine, I guess. And then we waited in the merch queue, and it opened, like the merch opened at 10, so the queue went pretty quickly after that. There were t-shirts that were sold out before like most of the t-shirts were sold out by the time that we got to the actual merch bit, because like, I don't know, we got there at 7:30 and there were t-shirts sold out by like 10:10. It was pretty extreme. But we got merch. My friend bought basically the whole store because she was buying it for her friends as well, so that's like fair enough. And then I just got the necklace. Well, it's a bracelet, and then I put an extender on it, so it's not a necklace. Because that's literally the only thing that I'll use out of the merch. Like, I didn't want to pay £40 for a t-shirt. I didn't even get an army bomb, which I kind of regret, but like, literally it's like £50 for a light stick that I'm going to use once. I don't really want that. And then, like, I got up to the merch guy, and I was like, oh, I want a bracelet and a group image picket, because that was for my friend. And then he was like, is that all? I'm like, what? Like, there were so many people walking out with, like, just, like, handfuls of merch. It was, like, it wasn't great. But we got the merch. And then we went back to the standing area because our friends had gone inside at that point. And it was the standing area that was, like, in the... The only way I can describe it is it's like a construction site. Because, like, honestly, it was a weird, like, area, honestly. Like, if you were at one end, you were getting hit by, like dust was probably falling on you from like, the people drilling, like, right next to it. Like, the standing entrance, it was, like, in between, like, a construction site. But we tried getting to back to the standing queue, and the guys were like, do you have raffle tickets? And we're like, raffle tickets? And it was like, they started handing out raffle tickets at some point, because people were leaving the queue and trying to get back in. So they were, like, handing out raffle tickets for that, but we weren't there at that point. So we were like, shit, if we have to go all the way to the back when we've been queuing here since, like... It wasn't great, but, like, our friends were in there, so, like, my friend told the guy, we know our friends are in there, we can tell you who they are, we can tell you where our bags are, and, like, everything. And then, thank God, the guy let us in, he gave us all raffle tickets, and it was, like, like, I literally would have cried if I'd had gone all the way to the back. It was just a stressful experience. But we got in the queue, we waited around for a bit. People, like, everyone was kind of sat down, but it was, like, this really manky area. Like, it was just... The floor was just, like, falling apart. And we were sat on, like, blankets and stuff, but it was still pretty, like, manky. There's some guy, I don't know if it was a guy, it might have been a guy. A guy was playing Dean in the queue and I was like, yes. But, it was just, we waited around for a bit. Some of our friends went out to get food and then came back. Some of us went to the toilet, came back. The toilet queue, right? I was about to go to the toilet and then the queue came out to the ticket booth for the Cineworld and I was like, yeah, no, that's like 100 people. I'm not queuing. So, like, someone I know who was seated, they queued for the toilet for like an hour and a half or something, just because the queue was so bad. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go in the O2. So I went out and I was gonna go to Costa, but the queue for that was, like, long as well. So I ended up just, like, running to the, like, North Greenwich station. And there was no queue, and it's like the toilets are manky, but it's okay because there was no queue at all. And my voice is annoying me now. I feel like I'm probably annoying you as well. But yeah, the toilets were something else. And then I got back to the queue. I had to sort out the Airbnb because, like, we'd booked an Airbnb for the night after the show. Just because we knew we were going to be queuing, so there's no point, like, paying money to get an Airbnb for, like, the night before if we're not going to be there. But it probably would have been a good idea to get an Airbnb just for, like, bags. Because I had all my stuff in, like, a backpack. And then I had another bag that was in, like, had blankets in it. And then I had my bum bag, which had, like, my ticket and phone and, like, wallet and all this in it. But I had to go sort out the Airbnb, so because I didn't want to pay £10 to put my bag in, like, the car park, because that's just, like, no thanks. And like, we didn't want to be checking into the Airbnb at, like, 11:30. So I left the queue, I went to go to the Airbnb. That was stressful. We were on a road and it was, like, number 64, but there was, like, it was, like, flat buildings. So there were, like, 4 like number 64s, and like I feel like people probably thought we were trying to break into someone's house at that point, but we managed to find it at the end, and it was fine. So I dumped the bags off, got a McDonald's, and then we went back to the queue. But my friend who I was meant to be staying with in the Airbnb with, she was in the queue for BTS Studio because she won the raffle ticket thing for that. I hadn't. Well, I didn't. I was sad. I kind of wanted to, but it's like, I'm not that bothered in the end. But, so I saw her, and then I went back to the actual queue, and everyone was like moving forward. Because they were, I think this was at like 4 o'clock maybe, they were trying to split up the queuing area just because people were like moving forward and it was getting like really cramped. So they split off people into like each areas, and I managed to get back into like where my friends were, and they saved me a banner, which is now like very bent because I had to put it in my bum bag because I didn't want to lose it, but cute. But yeah, they saved me a banner. I was happy about that. And I got back into the queue, and I was worried about my friend not getting back in time from BTS Studio because they were moving the queue pretty quickly, and I didn't know when we were gonna go in. But like, we were quite far back in the queue. We were like, because there was like 2 separate areas. Actually, there's more than 2. For like the inside construction bit, there was a queue like right by the entrance to the arena. Where, well, no. The entrance to the floor that's just before, like, the whole security checks and stuff, there was a queue, like, there was a huge queue block there, and then there was a long bit going back that went back to the O2 where all, like, the restaurants were. And we were in the middle bit, but we were at the front of the middle bit, so we were, like, we were on the edge of the barrier, but... yeah. I forgot what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we were there. We were waiting there for a while. My friend did get back, but she didn't get a banner because... no, I keep wanting a banner. It's a fucking slogan. Yeah, she didn't get a slogan because she didn't, like, get back in time, and they'd already, like, handed them out at that point. But, yeah. I can't remember what time it was. I think at 6. No, like 5:30, 6ish. They started moving people actually into the arena, which was scary. It wasn't scary. It was like people were getting told to go to the back. Like there were these 2 girls who were. I don't know if it's because they were underage, but they didn't look. I mean, I don't look my age. But, like, they didn't look 16, and I don't know if they didn't have ID on them, but they were, like, or if their tickets were fake or something, but they had to walk out, like, they looked like they were almost in tears. It was quite bad, but they started moving everyone in, so the queue was, like, going around, and these girls tried to, like, they, like, lifted the barrier up and tried to go in, and security stopped them and told them, like, I thought they would have, like, kicked him out or something, or told him to go to the back of the queue, just for, like, sake of it, but they just told him to go to the back of that group, and it was, like, they just tried to push in, like, I'm not being funny. But we managed to go through security. They handed out these, it's gonna be better from, is it even gonna focus? Yeah, they handed out them, so... you scan the QR code, you do the survey, and you get some points for Big Hit Store, and yeah, you get the little badge as well. But they were handing them out, and we got through security, and the guy took my ticket off me, and I hate myself, because, yeah, that's a long story, but, like, the guy took a ticket off us, he was like, oh, you can collect it at the end, and then I forget to collect it at the end, and I try the next day, and the O2's like, sorry, we've disposed of them all. So it's fine. But yeah, when we went in, there were already like 3-4 rows going back from the extended stage, and because we were in GA, we were like, we might as well just stay at the extended stage, so we were in the middle. We were like the 5th row back. We were close. We had a good view at that point. But there was this girl in front of me. She was sat on my feet. I'm not even joking. She was she was complaining, right? Because she had heels on. She was like, oh, my feet hurt and all this. I'm gonna sit down. And she sat on me, and I was like, I'm used to being at standing shows, but like, normally if people sit down, it's fine if you have room. But I literally had people behind me. I was like leaning forward, and I was like, my legs were like fully straight because I couldn't bend them, otherwise I'd like knee her. But I kind of wish I had kneed her just to like send her a message. But yeah, she was sat in front of me. I was like, and it went pretty quickly. We had to wait 2 hours before they came on, but the time went fast, and they were playing like they were playing like the BTS music videos while we were waiting, so it wasn't too bad. Everyone was like singing along, doing the fan chants. I'll put a video in like now because I filmed like something on my Snapchat for my friends, because they were like, what the hell happens at a K-pop concert? I'm like, oh well. But yeah. So we waited around for a while. Before it started, the girl who was sat on my feet was complaining about not being able to see over somebody's like BT21 headband, and she was literally holding like A5 banners in her hand. I'm like, I'm not being funny. You can't say anything about not being able to see if you're gonna hold these up. And she was like, no, I'll hold it up like high. I'm like, yeah, that's like not, that's worse. Okay, I'm not being funny. Like, but yeah. But it's fine, because when it actually started, she held them up and somebody kind of like hit her for holding them, which is great, you know. But that happened. Like, there was the announcement that Jungkook wasn't performing, but like literally when he started when the announcer guy started talking, everyone screamed, and there wasn't the text like there were for the other announcements. It was just like announcement. Everyone screamed. I couldn't hear what was going on, but it was kind of like, you know what's happening. They're gonna say that Jungkook's not performing again, so that's fine. I hope he gets better soon. But yeah, so that all happened. They went through all the music videos. They went through some of them twice, which is kind of like, but. And then it got to like DNA, Fake Love. I can't remember if they played Idol and then they actually performed Idol, because I think they finished on Fake Love. No, they played Epiphany as well. I don't even know. But the VCR started, and like everyone was shook, and I was still fine at that point. No one was pushing. And then as soon as they came on, no one was pushing. So it was like acceptable pushing. It was like gentle, but they did Idol, and then I'm not sure. I think it was, oh my voice is going. I think it was after. I can't remember if they did a song on the extended stage before J-Hope did Just Dance, but when he did Just Dance, when he came to the extended stage, literally everyone just like pushed forward, everyone like went. And like before it even started, this woman next to me was she was like, oh, I don't feel well, I need water, and she like sat down, and it like, this was some other one, not the one who was sitting on my feet, but she was like panicking kind of, and it's like it hadn't even started at that point. We were literally just like standing around, like, and then like every time like they came down to the extended stage, everyone pushed, and then that meant that I kind of got like squeezed out, and like by the time like they did Mic Drop, which is the last song in the main set, I was about like 15 rows back, and I was just like not having it, to be honest. I got quite a good video for, I can't remember, it's either I Need You or Run, so I'll put like a clip in here. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know if it was like a mix of seeing them live, the fact that Epiphany played like right at that moment, the fact that I paid like £180 for this, and I couldn't see over people's army bombs and phones like in the air. Like if I post some videos, you'll see that you literally just couldn't see over people's phones in the air. It was like quite bad. And then yeah, but I started crying because I was like it was like Epiphany, and then like the whole situation about being pushed back. Like normally I'm fine with concerts, like I've been to a lot of concerts, like literally all standing, and the last time I went to an arena show was, I got my tickets up there. It was for Lady Gaga. Like, I've seen Bring Me the Horizon live in, like, Birmingham, but that was fine. Not gonna lie, mosh pits I can deal with. It's just people pushing, and then, like, phones in the air, you know, army bombs. I was like, I just can't see anything, and it was not good. But like after they finished the main set, I just said to myself, I just need air. Like I literally can't take it standing in like this cramped area where like literally everyone's like, you would literally just stood like this. I was glad because I put my bum bag around like my chest, and if I had put it around my waist like at like what I normally do, I literally wouldn't have been able to like reach it. And because you were just like that the whole time. And someone I know, they missed the medley because they were struggling to breathe and they had to leave. In like Serendipity, in the video I filmed, all you can hear is move back, stop pushing, and all this. And 2 girls are lifted out in like the space of like 30 seconds. I'll like put a clip in. But it was not good. Like, I'm fine with standing, it's just people pushing and like crowding. So after they did the main set, after they finished with mic drop, they went down and then the lights all came on and I was like, I literally need some air. I need some air. So I messaged my friend and I was like, my friends, because they came at like 1 o'clock to the venue, so they were like in the outside queue. And I literally, like, I just texted them, I was like, can I come find you? I need like space, I can't take it like up here. And I found them and I burst into tears again. I don't want to sound like a crybaby, but it was like the whole situation. It was just like, it was just more than I could handle at that time. And I don't know. So I found my friend and like I was crying for a bit, but then it was like okay. But then this girl in front of me, she turned around and she was like, who's your bias? I'm like, oh, it's Yoongi. And she was like, you can have my, like, it's the army bomb photo card. She was like, you can have it. I'm like, and I felt bad, but she was like really insisting on me having it, so I was like, I mean, I can't refuse this. So I was like, yeah, okay. But that, she was really nice, like, I really liked that. But we were waiting around for a bit. It was good to have some like space. Like, I didn't have water, like I could manage without water, it's just like, it was just too hot and there was too many people. But when we went back, they came, I can't even remember what they came on to. I think it was like Ampan-Man. It was either Ampan-Man or So What. I can't remember which one it. But yeah, they came back on. It was so nice to have some space. Like, when they were doing So What, me and my friends were like proper bopping. We were like dancing. Like, if I was like that the whole time, I just like, no. I kind of regret going back just because I wasn't as close to them for army time, but I probably would have got like a worse view if I'd stayed like at the front. Like, I got a video of Yoongi's his like talk, and that was about it because I wanted to like appreciate the situation.
Sweetie sugar.
And yeah, so that happened. It was so good. They were so good. Like, the final song, I was crying again because it was like sad boy hours and I didn't want them to leave. And they've literally, I want to say that they influenced who I am today, but that's like just cliche, to be honest. But like, I don't know who I'd be if I hadn't been introduced to them. Like, that was just, yeah. And yeah. But like, they did the, I don't know what I'm saying now. Yeah, they did the talk. I got a good view of them. Like, you've probably seen videos online, so I don't really need to like post it, but they did the talk and that was good. And like, I could actually see at that point, there was like a few people with phones in the air, but it wasn't as bad as what it was when they were doing mic drop. And I actually enjoyed it after that point. Like, I feel like when I was in the main set, the more it went on, the more I regretted getting standing, because I was like, I literally can't see, like, there's people pushing, there's phones near, there's people with army bombs. And then yeah, but when I went to the back, I had so much space. I could actually like see them, even though it's far away. I could see them. Like, I had a good time. I feel like the whole thing would have been ruined if I hadn't like gone to the back and felt my friends. Like, that's how sad it was. And then they finished and they went off. And I forgot to get my ticket back, so I hate myself. Yeah, so that was that. And then I just went back to the Airbnb, got McDonald's, solid, but no, yeah, that was the whole thing. And overall, it was a good experience, but it was just stressful as hell. And honestly, they said next time. I don't know if that's gonna be like next year, like same time, or like 2020, but yeah, next time I'm probably gonna get VIP. I don't care how much I'm spending on it, because I just feel like it would generally like be so much better for like, I mean, you get a sound check, and I wanted the lanyard, man. The lanyard's so cute, and it's just, I really wanted it. But and some girl in VIP caught like Yoongi's A ring, and she didn't even realise she thought it was a bottle cap. I just read that today. Like, I want to be hit in the face with Yoongi's ring. But yeah, it was. I'm definitely gonna try and get VIP next time. Hopefully they do more shows, or if they come to Birmingham, it would save like literally all my problems. But I'll probably be in uni next year, so who knows. But yeah, that was that. Yeah, I got the necklace, and there was, okay, this isn't really to do with the concept, but on Twitter people were doing, there was a wristband project where if you donate to UNICEF you get a wristband, which is pretty cute. If you can't, oh, that's not even gonna focus, but no. It was just a wristband, and it's got the dates on it. It's got the Love Yourself tour, hashtag UK Army wristband. No, it's close enough. It's the project, what it's called. You can probably Google it and it'll come up, but I got a wristband, and then I also got the fan. And I don't really like this photo because it's so whitewashed, but but yeah, it's got the fan as well. I didn't take this to the concert. I saw some people with them, but I didn't want to damage it, so it's now on display in my room. But it's got Love Yourself and the date and stuff, arena, and it's so cute. But yeah, that's like that. That's all I got. I don't really. I think that's everything, to be honest. Yeah, that was my experience. I said I wouldn't talk for like 45 minutes, but this video's already gone on for 40, so there goes that. But yeah. Hopefully this won't be a pain to like edit and render. Too tired. But yeah, so that was that. If anyone watches this, then I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it didn't cause you anxiety like it did for me. Oh god, yeah. That was, like, I've been to concerts before and they've all been relatively calm, but that was just insane. It was like good insane, but it was also like, why am I putting myself through this? So yeah. Anyways, that's that. I'm sorry I talked for so long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll put some videos in wherever, but yeah, okay.